Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. And today we have Great Migrations. This is NatGeo, National Geographic series. Actually, it's not a one-off. But it's only one season and it's only 6 episodes. It is narrated by Alec Baldwin, actor, Donald Trump impersonator, Alec Baldwin. And he basically, I've only watched one episode out of the six because I had enough for one day. Let's just say that. Um, hmm. It shows the migration patterns and the reasonings for that migration for a number of different species. The first of which are wildebeests in Africa, and what they go through to. They go through like a loop in this certain area of Africa, the Serengeti, and a few other places, where they have to cross a river. It's the same river all the time, and it's full of crocodiles. And they battle to the death to make it across there. They know where they're going. The crocodiles know where they are. It's built into their systems that they need to do this. And by the time they get to cross, the ones that survive, well, it's time to give birth. And then they make their way around the mountain and they get to the point where, and by the way, after they give birth, they're still not really safe because that's where the cheetahs and the scavengers like vultures are waiting to snap up any young meat that happens to fall by the wayside. If you're wanting to avoid things where smaller animals get captured and eaten by other animals, while not graphically, this is chock full of it. They don't like, ooh, let's get closer. They they show you the moments though when the the calves are born, the wildebeests, and they get up on their legs. They basically got a few hours at best to learn how to walk and run. They do their best. By the way, the wildebeests are also accompanied by zebras part of the time, and they fight for their calves, but not all of them make it. In fact, I think he said 5 out of 6 of them don't even make the whole process, which is astounding about how much death there is in that process, and they still go through it. They know this is their imperative. There's actually a kind of a cool scene though. You always see cheetahs racing down antelope or some other animal or zebras. In this one, you get to see a zebra in the first episode that I watched. A zebra chase down a cheetah, a little tiny one who got a little bit too close, and he isn't big enough and strong enough to fight off an angry mama zebra. And they'd shoot, they film it, they slow it down, and you just see it's kind of just the rippling and moving, and it's just kind of really cool to see the tables turned in that one moment. Because that zebra ain't taking anything from anybody. He's not taking any crap. And then, of course, you get to the other section around the the turn on the other side of the mountain where everybody's horny, and they start just mating a lot, and or putting on their demonstrations of how cool they are and how sexy and agile they are. And they do this amongst ostriches who are also in the area to spin around and show off how great they are. So yeah, you get a lot of animals just like flaunting it and then hoping to get some. And that's the life of the wildebeest, and then they go back through the cycle again because they can't stay in one place. That's what migration's all about. It's all about food and fun with members of the opposite sex who will give you babies. And yeah, but not only the wildebeests and the zebras, we also have the story of crabs. Crabs, yeah. If you are freaked out about little red things or big red things like dinner plate size red things um, walking sideways across out of a forest and down a cliffside and into the water while fighting off yellow crazy ants. Yes, that's their name. And they yellow crazy ants are deadly. They spit like acid, and they in 1 year they actually cut down the population of the crabs on. By the way, this is on Christmas Island. Yes, it's in the Indian Ocean. Christmas Island seems like the very unrelated name to where it actually is, but you do not want to go there. Let's just say that. Between the crabs, which they don't seem to be doing anybody any problems, but there's a lot of them. There used to be at one point 80 million. The crazy ants, which were brought in by ships that were in the area, shipping, and humans, thank you humans, they they uh, they brought in the ants, and the ants cut the population down by 30%. So there was only 50 million crabs at one point. 50 million. It's a lot of crabs. And by the way, the men go before the women, and they stake out the area, and they get all refreshed in the ocean. And by the time the women show up, they've got their hovels built, their holes dug, make a little area where they can just have the babies after they mount them. Yes, you get to see crab sex. You get to see an awful lot of animals having sex, and some of them giving birth. If this is your thing, you're going to love it. If it's not your thing, you want to avoid this. And then you should really have Alec Baldwin tell you. But I'm going to warn you, there's also the story of the monarch butterflies. Monarch butterflies is just a crazy story. They spend 3 generations moving from Mexico to Canada with a flyover of the United States. But they go from Mexico to Canada over 3 generations just to reach Canada, so they can create a super race of monarch butterflies, which then fly back to Mexico in 1 generation. How do they do it? Well, you got to watch it. You got to watch the episode. And this is, by the way, this is all in 1 episode. So it's not like, hey, this one's crabs, this one's wildebeest. This is just the first episode. And I think the other ones elaborate further on the needs and the obstacles that they run across. But, this one, the first one is like, I guess, the big centerpiece one. And I think other animals are introduced. Like here, as you see, looks like walruses or something. Walruses. They're in later episodes. But they eventually finish off the episode. Well, they rotate through each of the animals through different stages. So you get wildebeest, crabs, butterflies, and whales, sperm whales. The biggest toothed animal on Earth currently. Some of them are up to 45 tons. And some of them swim enough to circumvent the Earth 60 times. They live for decades, like 70, 80 years, maybe longer that we know of. It's crazy. The males all sort of swim alone in the cold waters where they just hang out for a while the females are often in the warmer waters, and they take care of their calves, and they're all just very loving and touching. They love being together, and they're very affectionate, and then eventually they have to sort of meet in the middle, around the Azores or so, and then that's when you start seeing whale penises. They gotta show off, apparently. So, if you don't want to see whale penises, this is not for you. There's just like one whale penis, okay? One whale penis. It's more than enough. You don't need to see more than one. But yes, there is sperm whale mating. On Disney Plus. Hey, I'm not going to sex shame anybody here. Hey, it's just it's nature. There's no reason to be ashamed of it. So, but this is what it's all about. And they go through a cycle, patterns, and it's all determined by magnetic fields and the moon, the tides, the just nature, something within them. They know from birth where to go, what to do when they get there, and then where to go next. Uh, Mate, feed, mate, give birth, and then go back to where you came from. It's it's a pretty set thing. We kind of stay in one place for the most part as humans. Sometimes we move to a new apartment, a new town, whatever. Um, but these guys live in a cycle, and that's that's their nature, and it's kind of amazing how it all happens. The monarch butterfly one still is, it's just mind blowing what they do, and they show sped up transformations from larvae to caterpillars to the butterflies. So if you ever want to see something like that, this is really well shot. It's really beautiful. Nat Geo always does a great job with that kind of nature photography. But yeah, Alec Baldwin, in all seriousness, no jokes, no impressions. He doesn't say telling Liz Lemon to do anything. It is very serious. There's no jokes, but he gets a little lighthearted at one point, but not by much, because there's an awful lot of death and birth, and just it's a bit brutal. So that's Great Migrations. It's like I said, it's 6 episodes, or about 46 minutes each or so. If you want to check it out, you know where to find it, Disney Plus. But yeah, we have you can watch them all in probably just less than 6 hours. All right, I'm going to tell you what the next episode is. And welcome to October. We have now started our brand new cycle. I've now made a chart that includes all of the everything that's been introduced to Disney Plus since launch through the end of September. And we've taken out all the duplicates and cleaned everything up, so everything sort of has a new number. And we only have 708 rather than 768. So I've already reset the tool. It's got a question mark right now. And this thing will not pick the same number twice now. So once it picks 702 or 550, it will never pick that again, unless somehow I accidentally reset it. I don't know. But I have it set to 1 to 708. I just have to hit generate, and we're going to get started on a new era of the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. Here we go.
346.
346. And we know right now that's going to be something we've never seen before, that we've never watched before. No guessing, and we should never have duplicates again. 346. I did my best to take out any duplicates or anything that may have been removed. Like the pacifier was still on this list, and we saw the other day that it doesn't exist anymore. Oh, okay. Here we go. 346 is a series. It's Marvel's Future Avengers. Marvel's Future Avengers. So we're going to watch a few episodes of that and see how they go. It's probably a little, 22-minute episodes. And we're going to see what the Avengers are like in the future. Not the Captain America, Thor, and Iron Man you know. So, all right, here we go. On the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, Marvel's Future Avengers. A new era has begun on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow.